talk to others. You've subtracted all that money for training?
Yeah.
Yes. No.
It has a fight
now
with 6 condemned. Want to talk to? What
can
is
now? Oh, sorry. We can. The points that because we're paying outside sources to train, we can now put our internal resources towards training fleas in Old Vigo.
Yes. So arcane training 2 and I guess fleas could do the training 3 and then arcane training 2. Sure.
Because fleas is a martial character as well as a arcane. There we go. That's right. I was just trying to.
Okay, go ahead and roll the three dice for fleas and the 2 dice for Vigo.
All right, so fleas gets no more drone response.
Do I have to reset Modron again?
Where's Modron? Shout out to everybody watching. How you guys doing? I was like, I can't read. This is a fail.
Give me a second. I'll
Just
check
make
on
critical
Modron.
decisions on Lotus here. So we have a rolling tool on Twitch. We just don't know where it's gone right now. It's been currently screwing us for the last 3 games, averaging like 2 on a D20. Yeah, we tested it. We tested it at the beginning of today. We're like, let's see if it's working. A D20 and 2 D20s. We got a 5 and a 2. It's like, yeah, it's working perfectly fine. Random my ass. Yeah, good times. Good times. Marty's probably got something in there. It's like, if Ahmed or Adam rolls, just take a quarter of that roll and round down.
Dude, the record for worst rolling is still Altigar.
Yeah, Altigar's rules.
That's brutal.
It was one full round
I was
attack,
feeling
three
bad for
haste,
Mark
and
for
the
Altigar.
The key points was like 8 attack rolls and 4 ones.
Four ones. I was like, are you? Lies! Because I'll never see the opposite where I got 420. So that'll never happen.
Good times.
Yeah, that was when I decided to take always a chance.
Yeah, that was after that. I was like, you know what? That power is stupid. Let's use it anyway.
Always a chance is a power that lets you hit even on a 1 if the value is high enough.
Becomes another number.
Yeah. It's not an automatic failure.
All right, Modron should be back, and
All right.
okay, what did you guys roll for?
We're gonna reroll.
Please is hard to teach. He's a dumbass. He doesn't know nothing.
Got it.
Stupid asshole. Okay, I'm gonna roll for Vigo.
Old Vigo gets a point.
Oh.
Okay, so old Vigo 1 out of 3. All right, and then you guys have all hired training people to help train you guys. Damian does have a fight against 6 condemned that we need to go through, and then you guys need to.
That means Old Vigo actually leveled. He's now 2nd level.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then you guys need to chat to people because there's a lot of like.
Yes, we need to sort out the state of affairs of what is going on.
All right, who is the first person you want to go and talk to? Later on the next day after the attack, Bull's body is returned to you. The guards that return him don't know much and don't say much, but they do tell they do tell you that the prison hulk has been confiscated by the count, by the office of the count.
Magnus asks for his body. Actually, where's Phineas? Phineas
Phineas is in his lab identifying stuff.
Oh damn it! You what's the cleric, that resident cleric here? What's his name?
The Mass Theologian of Cord.
Level freaking cleric. I don't know his name.
Yeah, he's got to have a name. I'll call him Accordion. Accordion. Can you keep his body fresh? I want to see if I can bring him back at some point.
The Mass Theologian nods. He's an employee of yours, so he will cast Gentle Repose
Once a week.
Once a week.
Well, once a.
and that will
7 to
cost
8,
you
whenever.
given that
Cost? Oh, son of a... How much will that cost? Question. How much will it cost?
we will say that this spell casting is part of his upkeep.
Services rendered.
Yep. Well, yeah, you are
7,000
paying for a
so
7th level guy to hang around your Ludus, or an 8th level priest, no, 7th level priest to hang around your Ludus.
that psycho is our priest.
Yeah, he's one of the Mass Theologians. They hide their identity so that they cannot be easily identified by the Inquisition and the Church of the Five-Faced God.
Tell me where it hurts.
He's the one whose touch can make you weak, and he doesn't touch very many people. He's very careful to wear gloves. So he will keep Bull on ice effectively, but you're pretty sure that you're...
Is he alive?
Bull
He's a
is
ghoul. No, he's a theologian.
No, I don't mean Bull. I mean, is the Mass Theologian alive?
Yeah, you see him breathe and eat.
Okay. All right then. I'll ask Nim what he looks like later.
Phineas, what are you doing with the body of Nyx?
He dissects it for parts.
Okay, put it on your character sheet somewhere where you keep track of components that you've got a Nyx components.
Nyx components. All right. He's very practical about it.
I'll Nim can poop
Actually, also Marty, hey, Accordion. I hope you don't mind the name, but someone very close to me was killed when we wanted to fight the dragon. Do you know who can bring her back? Someone who can bring her to life again? Are you able to do it?
I do not have the power to do this, no.
Do you know who would be able to?
You may want to speak to the leader of the old gods. To the leader of the Mass Theologians. The Masked Oracle. May.
Okay, I'll do that.
Doing this. Know that it comes.
I'll do it. What doesn't? Look where we are.
I missed the introduction to the Mass Theologians, but they are the edgiest of the edgelords.
Yeah, they're not bad. They have questionable dress code, but other than that,
They're a bunch of priests of a collection of priests of the old gods. All right, so you make some inquiries. He's telling you that you'll have to talk to. He does warn you that the same spell will have to be cast upon this body. If you wait too long, the power and expense will become prohibitive.
Understood.
And the condition of the body will be important.
All right. Then Magnus is gonna move his butt over to speak to the Oracle.
Okay.
It's a priority for Magnus, so if he might have to delay his training.
Okay, so I'm going to push Magnus's training.
It's going to take 2 weeks, so it's 7 days. So if he can get everything done within 3 days, he should be able to still complete.
All right.
Well,
I will say that will be your RP encounter for this turn. So
Okay,
you're gonna seek out the Oracle. What is everyone else doing?
Right.
In addition to their training and identifying and that sort of thing.
Ashoka would like to check in with the Duke on the status of investigations and the sorting of things.
Okay, so the Duke or the Count?
Damian's kind of curious about that too.
Well, I guess the Count was the one we talked to last time.
Yep. He's
so
the one that
Count,
actually took action and showed up at the Sea God's Fury with soldiers.
We will start with the Count to see what the status of things are.
And Damian's going to go with Ashoka to talk to the Count.
Yeah, Sid's going to be watching and listening. He's stealthing in to see after they leave what happens. And also he's going to go start... Sid's going to be daily going to...
no,
what's
you're
it
training.
called?
You're not daily doing anything. You're daily training.
Oh, right. Fair enough. So after the encounter with that Adam and Mark are going to have, Sid is going to watch and see what they discuss after you guys leave. If there's a screw you over conversation that might be worth listening to. Okay. Other than that, Sid's not having a conversation with anybody.
All right. Anyone else? Phineas, you're just busy in your lab?
Yep.
Zed is going to check on the beast tamers.
Yes.
And potentially get kicked out.
Yes. Zed's got a conversation with Shebagast. All right. Which conversation do you want to have first?
We didn't do Chebagast first.
Let's do Chebby first.
Okay. So Zed, are you bringing Czargon with you? Czargon and you have been staying at the Conclave of Crimson Scale since the attack. It's been a couple of nights, and you're sheepishly going to return back to the Beast Tamer's Lodge. Are you bringing Czargon with you or not?
Yep. We'll leave Czargon at the Conclave.
Yeah, there are facilities that
behave to sort of.
Yeah, Czargon isn't as poor-tempered as he was before. You do have facilities for a dragon lair. You have a 2 points facility and a 2 point personnel. You've got people that are on hand to look after the dragon. Now it would be a 4d6 versus 4d6 though with your facilities. It's just barely enough to contain him if he decides to leave. But Zed was there.
With Zed, doesn't that add to it?
Yeah, with Zed there.
Zed's normally there, so it's.
Yeah. So Zed, you actually see
Okay.
they are working at this point in time to clear some of the rubble. Chebagast looks really, really flustered.
Is everything all right?
Oh, Zed, how nice for you to return. Friend, Zed, helping out.
You can see Cadavers has got this big bundle of sticks and his dragging things around, chains around his wings.
Master, look who's returned.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Bring that rubble. Continue to work, Cadavers.
Of course, Cadaver's good worker.
He goes over to some carts where they're carting away rubble. Chebagast looks at you, wipes some sweat from his brow.
Dragon.
Oh, good. I had wondered when I had not heard from you. I feared the worst. I don't want to cross the conclave, is what he says.
Czargon is currently at the conclave.
The facilities that we have are barely adequate to hold many of the beasts that survived. My megafence is going to... We're going to need to turn that... he's going to need a place to wander for now. I'm afraid that moving the megafence out of the city will require my time away from the stable while they sought reconstruction. Those blasted pirates.
Many of them will not do this again.
Assuming it was...
The leader did escape.
Assuming it was the pirates that burnt it down and not the dragon.
It was the pirates. He doesn't know that. He's just
Yep, the cadaver is
stating
muttering
it
to himself.
how it is.
Oh no, of course it wasn't it was the pirates, not the fire-breathing dragon.
There is no obvious ill will amongst the Crimson Scale.
I'm not sure if I can continue with this. I don't know if we're going to be able to afford, even with the money that they were paying us to repair everything. I may have to... The danger to my Ludus was because of the dragon. There are those that are suggesting that the Conclave pay for this. We did not sign up for attacks for the dragon. We signed up for looking after the dragon.
What are the damages?
20 talents or so. I will have to meet with them and explain to them that we cannot continue. I am afraid this also means, Zed, that we no longer have the funds to keep you employed. I'm sorry, my friend, is what he says.
It was in the fires, you can either reforge something new or are consumed.
That is an interesting way of putting it. He nods. Thank you for understanding. You will receive your payment to date as soon as I am able. By the end of the season.
Trebagast Zed turns into a large gorilla and
The fuck?
starts helping out.
Okay.
Spend an afternoon
Oh,
You know,
now he helps.
clearing
now
rubble.
he helps.
This cadavers.
I don't know sign language yet. So.
Right. Oh god. All right, so you spend a day, as much time as outside of training would allow you to help at the Beast Tamer's Lodge. This is after getting fired. What a nice guy. For circumstances that were beyond his control. All right, Magnus.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just don't have a job anymore because there's no job to have.
Magnus goes to the marketplace of the old gods, to the temple of the old gods, and is looking for the masked oracle. Give me a D3. 1, he's there. 2, he's around. It takes a while. 3, he's not. He's indisposed.
It takes a while.
Okay, you wait
2
around for
takes a
part
while.
of the day before finally you are able to see the masked oracle. And let me see if I have a token of him somewhere. This would be the Vatapul, the pit fights. No, the ancient pantheon. He's somewhere on here. And I will bring you to the Vatapul map, and we're up at the Market of the Old Gods. Okay, you meet him outside the ancient Pantheon. He's in a building that is nearby that might be owned by them, called the Well of Faith. And he is sitting kind of on a bench before this ornate-looking well. It is an operational well, but it seems like it's also a place, a serene place to sit. He is guarded by several priests outside that basically say, "He will see you now."
Thank you. Masked Oracle. Can I move my guy around?
Yep.
Masked Oracle. It's a pleasure to see you.
He raises his hand for you to kiss a ring.
It's a ring of. Magnus does that look on his head. His look is the same. It does that look that he's got. Like, it'll be a knowledge something because I don't.
Knowledge religion.
I don't recognize it. Knowledge religion. Fell off the wagon. I don't have it.
Okay, int check. The god is a greater god, so.
Uh-oh. Magnus. 7.
Checks.
Okay, you're
That's
not
strength
sure.
wasn't cheap, man.
You're not sure what it means, but there's some weird circles and like a book. It looks maybe a dove.
Sort of nerd god for nerds.
Okay. It's nice. He's like,
You
puts
shake-
it to his head, like,
Yeah.
okay, nice.
Okay, he withdraws his hand. You are clearly stronger than him, and he scoots over on the bench and taps the spot where he was sitting for you to sit down.
You must have heard about the recent occurrences. How many days has passed? Magnus would have done this like second or third day, tops.
Yeah, it's like 2 days later. You had 1 day of recovery, and you're
Must have-
here as soon as you could.
You must have
As soon
heard
as the
about what
tears dried.
happened. Yeah.
I know that there was violence.
Would you like to give me a first hand?
I know that there was great violence the night before in this city of Vatapor, and it pains me so.
Yeah. Apparently, the fuck was their name again? The Sea God's Fury. The Sea God's Fury's Primus was a dragon, and he attacked us at Aldudus. Maeve came with us, and we battled him there.
How many times have I told
We
my
felled
own-
him.
How many times have I told my own followers that violence begets violence? Still, it is like screaming into a thunderstorm, like trying to avert or change the course of a river with a cup of water. I am sorry for your loss. Your friend's spirit has likely traversed beyond.
Yeah, Sonia has died. And another one, Bull, one of my gladiators, one of my friends, he also died. And I come to you because I'm looking for a way, if possible, to try and bring them back. I don't know what magics are needed or who to talk to. You are the best one I can ask.
What? I am assuming they were not citizens.
No, not citizens.
I am assuming that they did not have pre-approved death contracts.
You know, here's the thing. A lot of people, especially here, will value one life over the other, simply on who they are. Magnus does not see that. I value Sonia and Bull's life like every other life. They were close to me. They're my friends. And more.
Yes.
His accent's brutal.
Death is a part
They did
of
not
life,
have those.
a part of the condition.
Yeah.
You are a warrior, are you not? Have you not faced death? Have you not come to terms with what it means to be a warrior?
Many times. Many times I've seen it.
While we are willing and able to practice our faith because of the blood spilled by the likes of the brave men and women such as ye, there are limits on what we are allowed to do in the name of the old gods. This city is a place of laws, or at least is striving to be. Were your friends followers of the five-faced god or of the old gods?
Yeah, Sonia was a follower of Cord. And Bull was a follower of something that I'm looking up right now.
I got it written down those people's piece of paper.
I'm looking. His one note's very slow, I tell you.
I think you worship the bulls.
Someone moved him apparently to afterlife. I'm looking. God damn it. Like, yeah, Bull, he's a follower of Obadiah High. Obadiah High, something like that.
Yes, the nature god. Cord, the god of strength in contests. Did she die in service to her lord? Did Bull die in service
In battle
to
with the dragon. Both of them died in battle.
This would require us to petition the archbishop of the city to allow the power of the old gods to perform a minor miracle.
Alright, so what do I need to do then? I need to go to who? The count? Who do I speak to?
The archbishop.
The archbishop.
Perhaps we should do a simple prayer first over the fallen, to make sure their spirits intend to come back. You cannot bring back someone who is not willing.
Yeah, I understand that.
This will allow us to speak to them.
So what do I need to do?
Their bodies must be brought here. It is not uncommon. People will simply think you are arranging for their funeral. And in a sense, you may very well be.
I understand they might not come back.
And even if I had the power to do so, and I do, I must adhere to the power of the law that allows us to give praise to our gods. If I break this, then the Inquisition may return. Then factious fighting amongst the followers of the old gods may also return. And to have us at each other's throats is to have our demise. We must be strong together despite our differences, else while we will lose, or will lose more quickly.
I ask you not to break what deals you have here. But I have a question. These laws that bind you with what you are allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do, how far do they extend?
The Imperium.
Physically, like if you... The Imperium. So I assume that's everywhere here. Crap.
There are places where such things are not as keenly watched. You would have to go to the east
Is that...
to find such places of turmoil. Here there are too many that rely upon me and our priests.
I understand.
She was a gladiator. It will be known if they return to the living. Gladiators are watched by many. My suggestion
Sonia was not the... She was not the gladiator of any Ludus. She may have fought, but she was not the gladiator of Ludus. And not many know. Not many were there when we were fighting the dragon. Same with Bull.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Give me a diplomacy? Sure. I'm the wrong guy to do this. The wrong guy to do this. Oh, Magnus is a gorilla. Not a man, a gorilla. Where the hell? Diplomat. Okay.
It will be either 10 or 10 plus your or,
13, yeah.
Blood is the price that is demanded in the arena so that we may continue our faith without persecution. If we was to start undoing this price, this heavy price that we pay, the gods would be denied their mana. People would be denied their spot in the afterlife, and the tithe required by the five-faced god would also be denied. I feel for you, as I do mourn all those we have been unable to bring back before. My suggestion, Magnus, is to make these arrangements ahead of time, for those that you care about, if you have the power to do so as a Ludus owner.
So what are you saying about Sonia? That I can't think about it?
Bring her body as well the body of Bull to here.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do that.
We'll at least speak to their souls. Allow you to converse with them one last time.
Okay, I'll do it. I was just dust here.
I shall await. May peace be with you.
You too.
He's gonna get punched in the mouth. May peace be with you. Bam!
I'll leave you in pieces.
Are you punching the priest of?
I'm not gonna punch the priest. That was me acting out. No. So I need to go and stuff my face with about 9,000 calories, and when I come back, perhaps Magnus would have told Maeve, prepared Maeve to come along, and prepared what's his name? Sona.
Yeah.
Sona to come along as well.
Okay.
Sona, like the
Sona for
guard.
Bull. Yeah, Sona for Bull and Maeve with Sonia. So it might happen on a day when they're not training, so maybe like 2 days later or something. And we'll just have to let the what's his name know when we can come with the bodies.
Right. So we've got Damian, Ashoka, and a sneaky spying Sid. They're gonna go visit the Count.
Okay, I'll roll spyness for Sid. And then you can have fun with the rest of it. So it would be the 38, 37.
That guy is so cool.
50. 50 height check.
Nice.
Or stealth or whatever you want. No problem. Anytime, boss. Anytime. He's going to stay there till conversation gets boring.
You're admitted to the castle. You get the sense from the functionaries that are kind of like keeping track of schedules and announcing that you were expected. And they were expecting you actually sooner than later. You soon find yourself in the same throne room as the Duke. The Count is not sitting on the Duke's chair, but he has his own important-looking chair. Basically, he's in charge of the city while the Count isn't around. He is the Count of Vatapol, not the Count of the Vatapol and the immediate surroundings of the city itself. So he's the highest ranking official in the government at this point. Arguably, the Magistrate might also be. Depends which branch, basically.
Yeah.
But the Count is there. Damian, I hear you had some fun in the docks the other day.
Yes, sir. Pirate scum needed to be dispatched.
Looking forward to seeing your fight tomorrow. I hope the fight in the docks didn't shake your spirit.
Oh, not at all, sir. Looking forward to it.
Nobody but the gods themselves see the fucking bat flying in and spying on the conversation.
There's one maid who's like, that fucking bat.
I keep on finding guano. Where is the bat coming from? How's it getting in? You open doors, don't you? Scary. Okay. Count acknowledges Ashoka. We recovered the body of you-know-what, is what he says. And we've impounded that ship. However, no sign of the dastardly... his name
Blackheart?
was... Yeah, no sign of the Blackheart.
He was on a
Pity.
he was on a second ship. It could be seen in the shadows.
Did the captain or first mate have any information they could glean?
The captain and the first mate are now residents of the prisoner's tower, under the purview of the commissioner. The commissioner also controls the city jails, which is a convenient...
Any word as to our missing condemned?
Ah, yes.
Specifically, Prentice.
He's nodding. We've, he goes over to a desk. I received reports just this morning. We have captured the wizard Ling, the Nezumi. Not the Nezumi, the...
Venera.
The Venara. He was captured by some guards as he was attempting to climb over the city walls. Unfortunately, there was no sighting or sign of Droll, who I understand is a gargoyle who has wings.
Yes.
He's likely long gone.
Prentice, he shakes his head. He has likely made it out of the city by now. And this Dren fellow, we have not seen. It is fully within your right, and he actually hands you a document to post a bounty for the return of your fugitives. The amount is up to you. Simply bring this to the magistrate's office, and it will be distributed.
Excellent. Now, as to damages and appropriate easement in this situation, what are the expected channels for those inquiries?
We'll have to wait for the Duke to make to converse with the magistrate as to the status of the Sea God's Fury. For now, their temple, their ship, and the goods have been seized.
Yes, there's...
Apparently, word got out that we had planned on having them fight Maeve. I mean, all of them. Perhaps it was for the best that this discovery of a dragon beneath our nose was made sooner rather than later.
had that happened in the arena, that could have been catastrophic.
Could have been the death of Maeve, as well as many of us all gathered in the same place.
Yes, it does raise a question as to how such knowledge was able to be hidden, and sort of what controls are in place to protect the citizenry here. Our backers have invested rather considerable amounts in Vatapul. They are shaken in their confidence in the location, I must say.
You're thinking of pulling up stakes?
Well, there is question as to whether Vatapul is a appropriate place, although there seems to be an opening for a powerful dragon here. It might take a few years to raise.
We did not know that Kryxes, their house Primus, was a dragon, if that is what you're asking. We knew that he was powerful, and that he had the blessings of many gods of the sea, and that he was, well, unpredictable, violent, just the sort of man we want spilling blood in the arena. Whatever transpired between you and the Sea God's Fury is between you and the Sea God's Fury. However, am I to understand that it was Phineas, your alchemist, that dealt the killing blow?
Yes.
An Imperial wizard? That will do well. It will be noted the class and category of the dragon that he slew, and under which circumstances. I'm sure that we will be able to pass a retroactive hunter's license for this particular dragon and its horde.
Thank you.
I'm sure that the value of the items of such a creature will go far in helping reestablish your ludus.
Will be a quick nod.
Plus the prestige of, well, a wizard who slays dragons. A harsh conversation with our chief guild wizard will be needed to have. I'm simply waiting for the Duke to return from his latest foray to the north. There are troubling enemies afoot. He kind of loses himself in thought for a moment.
Anything we should be concerned about, sir?
No, his hand goes onto your shoulder. I want you to inspire. And perhaps it is a good time if I hear from the men that you were successful in recovering your dragon pet.
Yes, sir.
Maybe this spring, the spring end games, the end of season games would be a good time to debut your dragon.
Yes, we have an agreement with the Goblin that they are to provide the fodder, although it will be at an expense that we're currently, there's a lot of paperwork involved, we're currently not liquid enough to satisfy.
If I'm not mistaken, there were 11 Goblin on the ship, were there not?
Yes. It appears that several of the, not all of the prisoners on the manifest were accounted for.
Well, perhaps some escaped in the confusion.
I'm sure he glances at you, and he's speaking in doublespeak right now. I'm sure we don't need to look into the missing ones.
Yes. Yeah, all of the officially sentenced seem to be accounted for.
It was a surprise to us all. It is our sincere hope that you do stay here in Vatapul. Your ludus, while it's been very interesting to watch, has not achieved enough fame to go elsewhere. You would be such a minor house should you go to the Imperial City, and Vatapol has got the strongest of all the feeder leagues in the Imperium, well, at least in Avasia.
Maybe we are simply used to the control that is found within the larger cities.
Yes,
Perhaps
we're a little rough out here.
some of the processes that are used to ensure that the Ludi are all working for the good of the Empire should be implemented.
Okay, so give me a... You are basically asking him to help you get refunded for your losses.
Pretty much.
And he's given you one thing kind of for free, but you're asking for basically more. So let's see how the Count thinks about you guys.
I will aid in this diplomacy check in very automatic type fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Conclave of the Crimson Scale versus him. Got it. They are that. Cool, and you're asking for a favor. Give me a diplomacy check.
41.
The way that it's likely going to go is this. Given that we had plans in dissolving the Sea God's fury, we will simply move up our plans to do so, as there are no other gladiators and they're likely going to be called a defunct anyways. This Sabros will be hunted down, although the seas are a good place for a pirate to hide. If you have your own means of finding him, we would be interested in bringing him to justice, of course.
At this point, I will let appropriate channels know who has caused such offense. I will not know if they choose to act upon it.
You are... With a word, I will be willing to let you interrogate the prisoners that we have taken. And then we will allow the magistrate to deem what is to happen to the proceeds of our seizure of the ship and their property. I'm assuming you have no want for a temple to sea gods?
No.
No, and that temple, as I was told by Phineas, I'm not an educated man in these regards, never had a taste for religion, appeared to be much more chaotic than one would normally expect.
Yeah, the old gods.
Distastefully so.
Many of the old gods are distasteful.
Tentacles and that sort of thing.
He nods. He's not certain of your meaning.
The word demon came up.
Okay, that makes his face change. Demon worship. Oh, shit. We're going to have to get the church involved now. If that's what you say it is, I would likely wait before we breathe that word again until after we've received your writ to hunt the dragon. Otherwise, inquisitors... We haven't had a inquisition here in Vatapol in a very long time, and let's just say that we all don't want one.
Yes. Now, there's one other point with which I need to discuss.
But if what you're saying is true, we will have to involve them at some point. I will keep the church quarantined for now. He doesn't use the fine, quarantine.
Yeah.
Sequestered for now.
Maeve helped us defeat the dragon, as you're well aware.
Ah, yes. The Marooned Maiden. She is an inspiration to us all.
Her services were not cheap, and I'm not talking in terms of coin.
Ah, yes, coin. So, where I was getting with the magistrate, compile a list of your losses, and the magistrate will As I understand, there were some deaths involved in the same incident amongst the city guard, as well as some damages in the port area. I am sure that he will take this into consideration when he redistributes the funds.
Thank you, sir.
As for Maeve, that is an old gripe. It is a box that I wish not to reopen.
Many apologies.
It's also not for me to say. It is between the Duke, the Commissioner, and some of the other heads of your rival Ludi.
Yes, well, as a...
She is a slave, after all.
We made an agreement
Of sorts,
with her,
he says.
That we would petition on their behalf to have her fighting school accepted, and if we were unable to do so, we would take on their numbers as our own. And he has this kind of like a neutral face to see how he reacts to said statement, to then join him in his emotion.
Interesting. Well,
powerful friends are required when facing powerful evils.
let's see how deep your pockets are. I see if you're pinching for repairs to your building at the same time as saying that you're going to sponsor a new Ludus, you could see where I'm a little confused.
No, we could forego the repairs if that Ludus could be created.
Ah, interesting.
Before anybody drops on the, you don't need to pay another guy 20 grand. Nobody's told Ashoka this yet.
Well, fortunately the funds are not being distributed from someone who really cares. Magistrate doesn't care whether or not, of course those funds may go a long way if you manage to go without repairs, into lining a few pockets and purchasing the right.
Precisely.
I wish you luck with that. I will let the magistrate know that he scribbles down like a couple of lines and sends it to a courier. I've just let the magistrate know that you'll be also filing for some claim over the Sea God's Fury property. I'm assuming your need for slaves.
Yes. Our numbers are rather dismal at this point. Although...
Best to get that claim in as soon as possible before the ship is simply reassigned into the Imperial Navy.
Yes. When are the condemned on board going on the open market?
It depends. It's up to the magistrate. They still have value, and therefore a property.
Mm-hmm. Ashoka will nod.
I'll see you at the fights tomorrow, is what he says. He says to Damian.
Okay. That went pretty well.
Yeah, the 41 diplomacy check. Somebody's already friendly towards you guys, so...
We're gonna teach the magistrate blood biography so that he could start to keep good track of all the powerful warriors in the city. Because, come on, lawful evil police state.
Okay, so that day, you go and talk to
Actually, at the end of this, he goes, Ashoka, I'll join you in a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, Ashoka leaves. Sid, is still flying around up there invisibly. Could be anywhere.
So there is one more matter I need to discuss with you. It's somewhat awkward.
Sure. He's gone over to a decanter of wine and is pouring 2 cups.
Ashoka has gone far enough away to make certain that it doesn't look like he's listening, but he's trying really hard to listen.
All right, so a bluff and a perception check then. Bluff, and then perception DC 25 probably.
All right, so the bluff is.
Yeah, I don't think I'm making that one.
Fuck you, Modron.
Goddamn, Modron, what's going on? Is it my internet that's being crappy?
Modron has crapped the bed.
He does. He has
All
indeed.
he made everywhere.
One more time.
Yeah, Ashoka's pretty lie.
There we go.
All right. 39 is.
Yeah, I don't notice.
This is the bluff check. The perception check. This is the part where. Do I hear? 17. No, I successly tried to hear while looking sneaky, but I didn't succeed in hearing.
You're like, oh shit! They closed the door. the damn
I'm
server
so
closed the door.
nonchalant that I actually don't hear.
It's like you close the door and now you're trying to listen through the door and it's just like. Burr, 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 burr.
Ah, crap.
A servant walks by, you're just like scratching the back of your head. At least Sid can tell you what happened later, because he's always really good for recounting.
Well, I would prefer to remain out of this particular negotiation, as it is somewhat of a conflict of interest for me, but given what's recently happened and apparent money woes, I was wondering if we've come to any decision regarding what kind of payments to the Ludus the Imperial Army will be making on my behalf, given that they do pay for my training, weapons, and accommodations.
Ah, yes.
My training alone this week was 700. Or 500.
I understand that good swordsmen and trainers are in high demand here in Vanderpool, rightfully so. Yeah. Yes, I believe that we will be able to cover your training costs, and a small purse per season will make its way into your own pockets. Your officer's commission plus some danger pay.
And I believe I might be able to negotiate a reduced rate on equipment with the mage. He's quite good, apparently.
Excellent. They've provided you with some gear. I think
yes,
they gave you, yeah.
But
I think he's pimping out Phineas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah, are you saying that the rest of us could use?
Well, perhaps. I mean, I'm sure his first priority is to upgrade the equipment of gladiators, but even my own equipment will need upgrading as I progress through the ranks. And that is rather costly.
Very well. If this can be done at a discount, let me have a think on that.
Cost plus 25. Very well.
There is a limit to what we are willing to spend on a gladiator, no matter what his ability is. We expect your ability to carry you most of the way.
What kind of results I can.
Right.
Understood.
Yeah, he's willing to pay for your.
But let's see what kind of results I can get.
So he actually quickly drafts something and basically pays for the 700 gold pieces for your training. He makes it out to the Conclave.
Okay. All right. Perhaps I will send them to another advocate to draft up a contract, I suppose, for future.
No need. It just expenses. Have the expenses sent to my office, and somebody from my office will approve them.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure this will be a great relief to the masters of the Conclave.
We need recruitment numbers
sir.
to be. We need recruitment numbers to rise, Damian. There are
I understand,
strange.
sir.
There are strange enemies beyond that of wild humanoids and barbarians to the north. Strange reports indeed.